The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube. And on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you are encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with me or not. I'm certainly hoping the people who just challenged me a few minutes ago have the fortitude to get on there and make their comments public about me. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. And thanks to our very good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio. We're syndicated across the United States into 12 million additional households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. Welcome to the show. We are awaiting the arrival of our guest, Ronen Bergman, who's tied up in traffic. He wrote a book called The Secret War with Iran, which talks about a 30-year war that's been waged secretly between the United States and Israel on one side and Iran and its surrogates on the other. That's right. The war that everybody fears has been going on for 3 decades. He's got details of it in this book. It's a fascinating read. He's running a little late. That's just fine as far as I'm concerned, because I blogged on GaryBaumgarten.com today a story which is in the public record. I'm going to read you the top of the original story in the Michigan Messenger that's got so many people riled. The chairman of the Republican Party in Macomb County, Michigan, a key swing county in a key swing state, is planning to use a list of foreclosed homes to block people from voting in the upcoming election as part of the state GOP's effort to challenge some voters on Election Day. Quote, "We will have a list of foreclosed homes that will make sure people aren't voting from those addresses," close quote. Party Chairman James Carabelli told Michigan Messenger. He said the local party wanted to make sure that proper electoral procedures were followed. Okay, so here's what it is. You have to vote in the area in which you live. And so they think that if your house has been foreclosed, especially if you're from an African-American community, what they'll just do is say, aha, you don't live there any longer. You don't have the right to vote, and challenge you and try to turn you away at the polls. Now, the Democrats are in court themselves challenging this attempt by the Republicans to stop people from voting. I reported on this today. A lot of people reported on this today. The POTUS channel on XM reported on it. Fox.com reported on it. When I reported on it, guess what happened? I got attacked. I got attacked as not being objective. I got attacked as knowing better than to write this because you know this is all about a bunch of BS. Boaz, you're a Republican. Why is it that in this discourse over this election, and I'm an independent, I am not a partisan, in spite of what my detractors said to me today, why is it that so many, and I'm not saying all, but so many Republicans are so vicious in attacking the individuals with whom they disagree? I don't see the Democrats, at least not in this show, attacking people so personally as some of the Republicans do. I got to tell you, boys, it's a bad tactic. I told an individual today, you're making a mistake because you're pushing people to the left. You're pushing them away from your point of view. You're turning people off. It doesn't matter whether your guy is the better candidate or not. It's a bad tactic. Why do we have so much poor form, especially coming from Republicans in this election, Boaz?
Well, it's a tactic that's used by both sides, Gary. Don't be one-sided about it. Republicans attack Democrats. Democrats, attack Republicans. I mean, why are you so surprised? I don't understand why you're getting all excited about it. These tactics have been used for years and years and years in every single election that you and I can remember, going back decades. So, I mean, I don't understand why you're so surprised here, Gary. And let me make a quick comment about, because I see your guest is here, with regards to the this scandal, if you want to call it a scandal, that went on in Michigan. You know, there is a legal issue here, Gary, when it comes to a person that is voting from a foreclosed home. Now, I didn't do a lot of research. I read up on this today. I saw it on your blog. I did a little more reading on it. And, you know, on the face of it, on the surface, yeah, you can put a face on it that looks like the Republicans are jumping on Democrats and making a blacklist, trying to prevent them from voting. You can look at it that way,
is
Gary.
right. Blacklist is right.
But
You're right.
Gary,
Not a white
but
list,
Gary,
a blacklist.
you can look at
Well
it
said.
another way also. And there's another way of looking at this, which you failed to mention, and that is that if somebody's voting from a foreclosed home, okay, that vote may not be legal. It may not be legal because when you vote, you have to vote from a legal address. That's the law, Gary.
Boaz, you know how long it takes to get people out of a house once it's foreclosed?
But-
Just because a
but
house has been
still,
foreclosed
Gary,
doesn't
that's
mean
the
that
law.
they're out of the house. Boaz, they have to prove that those individuals don't reside where
you
they
know what,
claim
Gary?
they reside.
You know what, Gary? If you want to discard the law, just say it. Just say, you know what? We don't care. We
No.
Democrats don't
No,
care
you know
about
what? This
the
is
law.
the same tactic
wanna
that they
talk just
used
about
during
what
the
it
last
looks
two
like.
presidential elections,
I
Boaz,
won't have it.
trying to preclude certain people from voting. And that's not what this country is about. Anyways,
Well-
my point is, and by the way, I said in my story that the guy denied it. The head of the Republican Party in Macomb County, Michigan, denied
I don't
that they
know.
were
I
doing
didn't. I don't know. We denied it. Didn't deny it. But you can put two different faces on this story, Gary. It depends.
Yeah,
on
I
your
know, a
point of
black
view.
face and a white face, Boaz.
Yeah,
A
well,
black
you-
face and a white face.
You want to look at it that way? That's fine.
They
with
just
me.
don't want the
I don't
black
look at it
people
like
in
that.
Detroit, the black people in Flint to vote because they're afraid that those
Oh,
people are going to
come
vote
on,
for Barack
Gary.
Obama.
You're blowing this out of proportion. Anyway, back to you.
No, I'm not blowing it out of proportion. I wouldn't have made it out of proportion if people hadn't struck such a nerve. Okay, another nerve, a bigger story. We decided to talk about something else, treading water.
I took my jacket. Is that legal here?
It's legal here.
Okay, fine. Because
yes.
it's a bit hot. So,
It's a bit hot.
And then I guess I'm an
Ronen
Israeli,
Bergman.
and I'm not used to.
You're not